Log 1. The Cursed Farmer. Well, I never expected in a millennia or two that I would ever try to recall any of my memories. My memories aren't what they used to. When you live for so long, you become crazy, insane. Madness becomes constant. You become bored. You interfere with things that you yourself chose not to interfere with. This is one of the cases, or one of the many cases of the interferences that I did to create a story. This is Jermaine's universe. It's approximately 5 years since slavery was abolished or destroyed in Jamaica. We're gonna follow basically freed slave Joe. Let's call him Joe. I won't tell you his real name. His name is Joe. He's basically going to a plot of land in the cockpit country in Jamaica. I won't tell you exactly where. If you have a map and you know a little bit about Jamaica, you would at least know where the cockpit country is. That's in Jamaica. Well, I'm not going to go too far in it. Well, Joe is going to a plot of land that essentially he was messengered. I'm getting old. He got a message by a raven. The raven brought a message to him, in a dream no less, telling Joe to basically go to a certain location in the cockpit country. He listened and he went, because Joe at this point in time needed land. Being a recently freed slave, you would think that he would be grateful for it. But Joe just wished he was just another slave. At least when he was a slave, he would have food in his tummy, a roof over his head, and even if there was a constant reminder that he might lose a limb or so for disobeying orders, he was a good slave, and he listened to his masters. And they never had a problem with him. But when he was freed, he was lost, didn't know what to do. A young man. I'm going to give you his age. He's recently now 19 of age. He got the message in the dream, just like I said, and he's going to the place. He walked on the road for a very long time until he reached the place. The road leading up to the place that he was going was covered in marble stone. Beautiful. Beautiful writing on it as well. Symbols that he didn't recognize. Even on the trees themselves, there were symbols carved in them. The symbols looked simple, yet he could sense that he shouldn't touch them. He left that alone for now and went. And he went and then he found a meadow. Beautiful meadow. On his right, there were beautiful trees. Beautiful. Beautiful. With a lot of fruit. With different types of fruit, in fact. Fruits that he never seen before, but he knew they were fruit. There were flowers, different types of flowers, growing along the way. And the grass was low, close to his ankle. They didn't pass his ankle. You could tell that they looked very freshly cut. Yet he didn't smell that smell that he would normally have. when you just cut your lawn. And he should know he was a slave that worked on a lot of things. You could call him a jack of all trades. He learned from each and every one of the slaves. He was even a house slave at one point. Well, he walked on the path going straight to the house because the house was in the middle. On the other side, there was a pond. The pond was normal. That's the problem. The pond was too normal. Joe's instincts told him, no, pretty much warned him to not go near that pond. And he listened to his instincts. They've never failed him yet. He went straight to the house, and before he could even reach the house, a white man came out. But the problem was that Joe thought the white man was going to shoot him because he's a recently released slave, even if he's 19 years old. Slavery was not just too long ago abolished or destroyed, so they say. It didn't stop the white men from killing slaves and pretty much having their way with the women. It didn't stop them. In fact, it emboldened them with the hatred growing even more. They didn't even, how should I put this? Release them gradually. Not at once, gradually. If they were being released gradually and basically making housing for them before they let them go, it wouldn't be that bad, but we all know. Ripping off a band-aid and hoping it heals. The human way. History has told us that humans have always been like this. But Joe thought that the white man was going to shoot him or kill him. So Joe was going to run, but the white man basically said, "Hey, you there, do not run. I'm not going to kill you. Have you got the message?" Joe didn't run, but he was still on his guard, and he said, yes, sir. I got the message that I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but a raven, a black spirit, came to me and told me that a plot of land was up here for me. I just had to carry the money that I had and I would get it. The white man would then shake his head in acceptance and basically said to him, "Yeah, I know. I'm the one that sent him to you. But anyway, before the night comes, have you brought the money?" Joe then says, yes, sir, I have the money right here. Joe then gave the white man the money, which is $1 in the current US currency. And the white man would accept it and say, "Thank you." The white man would then give Joe the deed and also the land title and tell him simply this: You don't have to worry about putting your name. I've already wrote your name for you. Now that we've basically finished with all this, I'm going to leave. Joe didn't say leave, but I just got it. He said, white man basically said, you don't have to worry about anything. You can keep the clothes. You can keep the weapons inside. You can keep everything else. The land is yours. Do with it what you will. Sell the fruit. Do anything you wish. But heed my piece of advice that I'm leaving to you. If you wish for water, drink out of a well. If you wish for food, eat the fruit of the trees. You can even eat the grass or even the dirt. But no matter what you do, no matter what happens, never, ever drink from the pond. Never catch water from the pond. Never swim in the pond. No matter what you do, never swim in the pond. There are things better left unchecked. There's things better left unnoticed. And there's things better left dead. Never go into the water. Even if you hear voices from it, calling you, beckoning you to the water, never go there. You hear me? Joe then said, yes, sir. I hear you. The white man said, yes. Yes. Now that you've heard me, let me tell you something interesting about this place. This place is blessed, but it's also cursed. The water here, when you drink it from the well, only from the well, no matter how thirsty you are, you become quenched. You will no longer feel thirsty. If you drink from the water here in the well, even if you get cut or injured, you'll be healed in a matter of hours. The water cannot be sold from here. Even if you sell it, the healing properties of it will wane and become weaker the far away from the water source it goes. Same with the fruit. The fruit here will never rotten. Never. Even if it drops on the ground, you can still eat it just like you just picked it. But if you sell it from here, it will still be sweet, tasty, but it will start to rot. The same way a normal fruit will rot. The same way with this place, with you. As long as you stay here, you will age slower than normal people. And you will naturally be healthy and strong. And you will live for very, very much long years. But if you leave this place, you will start to age the same rate as a normal human would. Maybe just a little bit faster. Let me tell you this, and let me warn you well. No matter what the pond says to you, never go to it. No matter what it tells you to do, never listen to it. Ignore it like it's not there. Never go to it. You hear me? Joe didn't say, I hear you, sir. Good. Now I must leave. It's not good to be staying here at night. No, it's pretty much not good to leave this place at night. As long as you are here at night, you're safe. But if you leave the meadow, your property at night, there are things out there waiting for a chance to kill you. Do you understand? Joe then said, yes, sir. And that's what the weapons are there for. So, I highly recommend you learn how to use the weapons that are inside. They may look old-fashioned, but trust me, they work. Jordan nodded and said, yes, sir. Now I'm going to leave before night. The white man would then whistle, and then a white horse would basically run out of the barn and go straight to him. He would jump on the horse, almost like it's something that he does every day. So natural, swift and fast. No wasted movement. And he would just ride away. It was more like he was galloping away, as fast as he could. All the while laughing. Joe would basically spend a year there, and he would confirm everything that the white man told him. Everything the white man told him. No matter how he trimmed the grass would always grow and stay at the same length. The trees would always have fruit, and whatever he planted would grow faster than normal trees would. What would take 5 years to grow here actually takes weeks. And because of this, Joe felt content, but he also began to become bored. Joe wondered if this was one of the curses that the white man told him that would happen. The white man didn't tell him that it would happen, but he thought that this might have been a curse, just like how he thought would. Anyway, Joe would leave and basically went away, not for long, but he would went away and go to a town, the closest town. In the closest town, he would find a woman, a beautiful black woman with obsidian skin, beautiful eyes. Her eyes were gold, beautiful. Her hair was straight, silky, almost like there were waves in her hair. Even her hair shined. It was beautiful, almost like he was looking at black gold, dark gold, whatever you like to call it. Her shape was perfect, the perfect shape that you would have. Wide hips, preferably good to bear children. Her breasts were ample, soft, straight and perky, I might add. No vulgarity here, but I must say she's a beautiful female human. Anyway, the moment Joe saw her, his eyes locked on her. And he knew that if he didn't take this chance, he probably would never get another chance this time. He went up to her and simply said, would you wish to marry me, ma? She simply looked at him. Oddly, she looked at him up and down, with her eyes scanning everywhere about him. She looked at him and she basically said, yes, why not? When she spoke, it's almost like angels were speaking in his ear. He wondered why she basically spoke the white man's English so properly. But then he thought she must have been a house slave, so he didn't ask much questions after that. So they got married in a church the same day. She didn't complain. She didn't say much. She didn't say much at all. In fact, she hardly said anything. She finally told him that, hey, it's about time that you brought me to your home. He said, yes, ma. Get on my horse. We will be there shortly. And so she did. She climbed on top of a horse with him, and they galloped away. Maybe an hour or two, they arrived. She opened her eyes. She looked right to see the trees. She looked on the pathway that was covered in marble. She looked at the house that was in the middle. She looked at the flowers that were adorned the meadow. She looked at the grass. She looked around more and more, and she started to frown, and then she started to look with anger, and then the anger quickly vanished, and then she looked to the pond, and then she looked in shock, and then with a scowl, and then she looked at Joe and simply said these words to Joe. Joe, who did you bought this land from? Joe simply said, a white man, dear. She simply looked at him again and said, Joe, let me rephrase the way I said that so you can understand. Joe, who was he? What was his name? Joe simply said, the white man. She looked at him again, almost like she's not telling him what she's asking him, but more like look at him to make him realize what she's asking. Then he looked at himself and says, Joe then said to himself, the white man. Wait, he never told me his name. No, as a matter of fact, he knew my name without even me telling him. Not only that, he knew I was coming. He sent a raven, a black spirit, in my dreams. How? How did he know my name? Joe simply looked at her and asked her, how did he know my name? She would simply look at him and say, because you were tricked by an evil spirit. Joe, because I'm married to you, I'm bound to this place as well, just like you. And I'm going to say this once to you, Joe. Never go to that pond. She would simply say, Joe would simply say, I know, I'm never going to go to that pond. And she simply rephrased the question and say, Joe, what I'm saying to you is simple. Something is in that pond, sealed away. I can tell. My family has been shamans for I can't even tell how long. And even I could see a simple fact that something evil is sealed in that pond. Something is being held down there by something. I would recommend, Joe, that you stay away from that place. You understand me? Joe would simply nod, and then she would simply say, then, let's go into the house. You must show me around. Joe would then say, yes, Ma. And that's the end for now. Please like and subscribe. And if you do use this somewhere, please point them to my channel. This is Jermaine Universe, and I wish you adieu until you hear from me again.